Hi everybody, I would like to talk to you how I believe my education, my literacy practice have become what they are now in a bilingual perspective. And as I hope you guys already know, I'm from Brazil. My first language is Portuguese. As I have mentioned in our first project, the literacy narrative, I started to become literate by the age of 3 at home by my mom, learning the ABCs, the numbers, but soon I started attending the preschool. And one important thing that I mentioned in our first project was the fact that my parents, they always put education first. So they always tried to put me in the best school that they could afford. Unfortunately, in my country, Brazil, there is a gap, a huge gap between public education and private education. So I was always a private student in Brazil, and I feel more than blessed for that because now I am in the progress for my bilingual literacy. And I look back and I see how important was that investment that my parents did to me when I was a little kid. And as I said, I feel more than blessed because it helped me through all my years in education. And when I talk about my parents supporting me in education, I definitely can relate this fact of my personal life with the book, The Other Westmore, in which I could see clearly how important was family support in the author's life, how important was that his mom was working so hard to afford him, to put him in a private school so then he could have a good education, and also helping him to make good choices, to make a positive choice, so then now he could have the career that he has to become who he is now and have such a successful life. And it's so funny, so interesting at the same time because I totally can connect, I guess, all the work that we have done this semester for this class with my personal life, especially when I was reading The Mother Tongue by M10, when she talks about broken English. That is something so present in my life because I said to everybody, that's what I speak. I speak broken English. And in that and in the reading, she talks about how her mom struggles to learn a different language, especially when you were already like a grown-up, and sometimes how people mistreat you for this fact, and judging you, think that maybe you are not intelligent enough to speak their language. But sometimes I think people forget how challenging is the fact that you already have your literacy in your mother tongue and you are challenging yourself to learn something different. And when we talk about learning a different language, a language from another culture, it is definitely is. It's not only the language that we learn. We learn like how to use properly all the words, to learn about the culture factors. So I definitely could relate that. I think is the thing that I can relate the most to myself, and I love reading The Mother Tongue. It's something that I will never forget, and I will always talk about that to everyone when I have a chance. And when I talk about language, learning a new language, my broken English, I definitely can relate that to our second project, in which we had a chance to write about how we can communicate in different ways using different types of language, formal, informal, depending with who we are engaging in a conversation with. And for the project number 3, I chose to write about the lack of qualified teachers in special education. That is something that I totally can relate to my personal life. I have a sister who is 6 years old and she has Down syndrome. She's in first grade, so she's starting her education now. And I see, how she faces issues in special education as these. To find qualified teachers to teach her, to help her to be literate. So I thought that writing about that would be very interesting. And in brief, how I believe my education and my literacy practice have become what they are now is 100% due to my family support, how they always said to me that education is a priority in life, and they always told me to never give up even when I face my struggles, my inner conflicts or whatever it is. And that is something really important to me because now I feel confident, to attend college here in a different country, learning my second language, and speaking, being confident to speak my broken English, being able to record a video like that like 2 years ago, it wasn't possible for me at all. So being here in college has changed my life, and I know that sometimes it's tough, it's tiresome, sometimes I want to give up, but then I remember about everything that my family always said to me. So here I am, with my broken English in the process for my bilingual literacy, and I know that in the end it will be really rewarding.